Hello lovely yoga students, and welcome to week 4 of our 12-week course on the animals. I'm hoping that this week the picture on my video is going to be a lot better, because I've been trying to work out how to make it better, and then Clive helped me with it the other day, so that's good. Anyway, so today, or this week, we are working with the energy of the wolf. So and with this is also the dog and the fox, so we've got some of that in there. So if you're coming to class this week, you know, we'll be delving a little bit into the wisdom and knowledge that they can bring for us. But today we're just going to be looking at the postures that we're going to be covering, and of course I'm not actually covering all of them because I don't have the time, but I'm going to fit in as many as I can. So we're going to start on the mat. So if you've got a cushion or something you'd like to use to sit on, then do that, or you can just sit on the floor if you're comfortable to do so. And we're just starting, as always, by just landing. So I'm going to invite you just to come and drop into this moment right now. Just being present, maybe closing the eyes or lowering the gaze. And just being with where you are right now in this moment. Bringing your attention into your breathing. Moving in and out through the nose, and trying to find comfort in whichever pose you are in. Lovely. So we're going to just begin by doing a little bit of warming up, just by rolling the shoulders a little bit, a few times, backwards and then forwards. And then we're going to take that into the arms. So we're going to bring the arms all the way up and through. We're doing this big diagonal, which I have a feeling I might have done this on the video last week, but not in the class. I'm not sure about that. So going all the way over, diagonal to diagonal, across the body. And then we'll just do it the other side. Or maybe it was a week before I did it. Anyway, so all the way through, going across the body and then out diagonally behind, and then back the other way. Lovely. Beautiful. So we've woken up our shoulders and arms a little bit. So we're just going to bring the hands into cactus arms, just doing a little bit more here. And I'm just going to invite you to take a twist one way, and then come back to the centre, and then a twist the other way. Lovely. Right, come and lie down on your back into semi-supine. So heels, if you sit up like this to begin with, heels, if you get them exactly in line with your hips and your knees in line with your ankles, then when you lie down, you can just bring your heels in a bit closer towards you, but you should just get this nice aligned feeling here. It's worth just lifting up the head, having a look at the knees, making sure they're directly above the hips, and then coming back down, chin slightly down. And just for a moment here, we're just going to be here, breathing. And then I'm just going to invite you to very gently just take some weight into the feet and the hands, and just feel the weight lifting. You're not lifting the hips, but just feel the weight coming off the hips, the pelvis, and then drop back down. So just releasing again. So just do that a couple more times. So just exhaling and pushing down into the feet and the hands. So we're not lifting the hips up, but the weight is just coming off the back of the pelvis, and then dropping down, relaxing again. Once more, inhaling and then exhaling, dropping down. Beautiful.
Lovely. So I'm going to invite you to inhale and bring the arms up and over the head. And as you exhale, bring the right knee into the chest. Give it a good squeeze towards the right armpit. Then we're going to let go with the left hand. Just keep the right hand on there. And we're going to take a big circle in two circles in the same direction round on that leg. And then coming back to the middle and going back round the other way on that knee. So we're just opening up the hip joint a little bit. Coming back to the start, arms coming up on an inhale, up and over the head, and exhaling, bringing the left knee into the body and giving it a good squeeze towards you, towards the left armpit. Letting go with the right hand, putting that on the opposite hip if that's good, and then taking big circles with that left knee, opening up the left hip and back round the other way. Beautiful. So, just have a look at my notes. Oh, lovely. So we're now going to do the dog wiggle. So this is where we're going to bring the knees up, so you've got the knees directly above the hips like this, and we're going to bring the hands up and pretend we're a dog. We can't really because their arms work in different ways, but just imagining that you're a dog lying on your back and you're there, and you're just starting by just having a nice little wiggle. So just wiggling from side to side, the hips and the shoulders, and just moving the legs. You can feel it on the back of the head, and then we're going to slow it down and begin to take that into a big wiggle. So we're bringing shoulders and bottom together on one side and then wiggling all the way back. So the head is really wiggling, going all the way to the head's going from one side to the other side, and the bottom is meant to be doing the same, and the shoulders are doing the same. Just imagine ourselves, we're in slow motion, having a wiggle on our back, like I've seen a few dogs doing this. Sometimes they actually come up onto their head, but I'm not going to do that. Lovely. And then from here we can drop the feet down with the soles of the feet touching onto the mat, dropping the knees out to the side. We can take the hands out to the side to begin with, or if you like you can bring the hands onto the belly, and we're just going to take a moment here just to breathe and be with this. Beautiful. Lovely. So now we're going to come up into all fours. So just finding your way up to all fours. We're going to take some cat and cow, or we can call it wolf and dog here. So we're going to inhale, looking forward, taking the spine to the floor, and exhale, take the spine to the ceiling and look between the knees. So doing that a couple more times. Always remember, I'm rushing a bit through the postures here, so if ever you feel like, oh, I'd like to do a bit more of that, just pause the video and spend a bit more time on it, and then start me up again. So from here, we're going to come back to a neutral spine, and we're just going to do a little bit, just one each side, inhaling, bringing opposite hand to leg out, and just balancing here, breathing. And then we're going to take the hand down, take the leg down, and do it on the other side. So opposite hand and leg. And just trying to balance here, breathing. Beautiful. So now what we're going to do is, I might need to move no, I'm all right. So, so that you can see me, I might go this way actually, so you can see me a bit more what I'm doing with my hands. So I'm going to begin, we're going to take a big wolf, I don't know what you call it, a big wolf pad. So we're going to take our big wolf hands here, and we're going to step one big paw over the other and then take the other one. So keeping the knees in the same position, walking the hands round as far as you can go, trying to keep the feet in the same position. And we're just going to stop there and feel that stretch. So for me it's a stretch on the right hand side of the body. And then coming back around, so walking these big wolf paws all the way back round, going all the way to the other side. I need to just move over a bit. All the way to the other side until you've gone as far as you can, trying to keep the feet in the same position and just feeling the stretch in the left hand side this time. Beautiful. So we're going to do something quite interesting now. We're going to do chasing my tail. So from all fours, we're going to start off by doing the same thing, so taking the hands around as far as you can go, and then imagine yourself that you've got a tail coming out of here, and that the tail is coming out and coming towards your mouth, and you're trying to catch it. We're going to start off slowly by going around, so trying to keep the bottom pointing towards the head and the head pointing towards the bottom, and gradually we're going to speed up till you start going around really quite fast, and then after a while you come to and pause and woo, and just see how that feels. You might feel a bit giddy, but we're on all fours, so we're nice and safe. We're not going to fall over. So just doing the same thing on the other side, so walking round and trying to bring the bottom back towards me, and then I'm going to carry on round. So again, just getting faster and faster, chasing my tail, faster and faster and faster and faster, and then I'm going to stop. Ooh. Okay, it's really quite an interesting feeling. So you could always stop and just do that a couple more times if you want to, and maybe just see how fast you can go. Okay, so lovely. So the next thing we're going to do is the thing that's called broken wing, but we're going to call it, in this situation, we're going to call it tummy rub, or opening myself up for a tummy rub. So what we're going to do is we're going to come and lie down on the front, and we're going to take this hand, so the opposite hand, out along the ground. Hopefully you can see me. And then I'm going to bring this hand underneath my shoulder there. You can't really see it, but underneath my shoulder. And then I'm going to push myself up with this hand and lift this leg up and just take it as far behind as I can. So this is a real opening for the back armpit there. But also it looks like I'm opening myself up for a big tummy rub, saying, come on then, give me my tummy a rub. So breathing here, trying to be with this. Lovely. So we can do it on the other side. So other hand this time goes out onto the ground. This one comes down underneath the elbow, lifting up onto the fingertips of that hand even, taking this leg back, trying to keep the bottom leg straight. I don't know if it was straight on the last one. And here we are, I'm opening myself up the other way for a tummy rub. Hopefully you can see me there. Breathing here, beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to come into something that's a little bit more intense. So I'm going to definitely recommend to you that if it feels too much, then just stay with the knees down on the floor. If it doesn't, if it feels okay, then you can carry on with me. But I'll show you the modification first. So what we're going to do is we're going to come into the plank. So obviously, you know, the modification for a plank modification is to take your hands out long into a long cat and then just bring yourself forward. So you're on your knees, but you've got your shoulders kind of over your hands, so you can feel there's a bit of weight going into this. If you want to come into the full plank, tucking the toes and lifting the knees. We're just going to be here for a moment, making sure it's okay for your wrists. Breathing here. Beautiful. And then just come and have a little rest. Just come and rest down into the child pose or the curled up puppy. And then we're going to come back into that and we're going to do something that's a bit more intense. So as I say, if it feels too much to be in the plank, then stay with your knees down. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring knee to elbow and then take that back, and knee to the other elbow and take that back. If you're in the plank, it's a bit more intense on the other leg. So knee to elbow, knee to the other elbow. So in the class, we're probably going to do that more than once. We'll probably do it a couple of times. Haven't got time here. So, but if you want to, again, as I say, always pause the video and do it again if you want to. So we're going to come into the puppy pose now. So we're going to take the hands forward into this nice long cat like we were doing before. And then from here, I might just walk back so my hands are on the mat. And then from here, I'm just going to drop my chest down to the floor. And then my forehead comes down. But it might be that your chin goes onto the ground, or it might be that you need to have something like a block or something underneath you here, and that's fine as well. Just do what works for you. Breathing here, so this is really opening up the armpits. Lovely. So, from here we're going to come up into, guess what? A downward dog. So we're going to tuck the toes, lifting the hips and just come into a comfortable position, which is good for you. Lots of people do find wrists, it's difficult with the wrists with downward dog, so you can do it from here on the elbows and come up like that. It's quite intense on the shoulders, but it's good, it's really good. It just works you in a different way. So if you want to do that, or finding whatever works for you. And then we're going to, so from here, we're going to do a little bit of this thing that I've called hunting. So we're going to come down, we're going to come back as far as we can on our mat, okay? And we're going to move from the back of the mat to the front of the mat. And we're going to imagine that we are hunting, like we're getting down as low as we can, hunting something. So we're after something like a bird or something that a fox or a wolf would like. So we're going to start off in child's pose like this, and we're going to be down on the elbows like this, and we're going to try and come through, taking the arms out long, keeping yourself as low as you can. Then you're going to lift one leg, coming through, really trying to keep yourself really low, stretching the arm out, and then coming the other way. It's a bit weird, but it's actually really amazing for the body. So just coming, so you can come all the way so that your knees reach the front of the mat. So I've come as far as I can. So it's probably not very dignified, but it's really amazing for all up here, the muscles for all around here. And for here, it's really opening in the low back, so you can always come and do that again. Okay, so we've done, yeah, we've done that. So I think we're about there. There's a few other poses that we may well do in the class itself, and of course we will also be working with the crow as well at the end of the class in this, which you've got on the first video of this week that I worked with the crow with you. So you can always go back and have a look at that if you want to. So thank you very much for supporting me. As always, if you want to make a donation, if you're not coming to class, then I will include my bank details on the video.
there we go then, 20 minutes exactly. How about that? Bye.